Hi, welcome to Bobby's podcast. I realized something. I do the podcast right when I get up in the morning. A lot like my morning show days, it took me about an hour to wake up so my voice sounded fluid and I had personality. So I think I'll be working out before I do the podcast. So I'm like, hey guys, welcome to Bobby's podcast. I think people want energy in their podcast. It's pop, right? Okay, so new study found that traffic jams are making us fat. Ba, ba, ba. This is a real story. According to a new study, traffic jams are making us fatter. We're more likely to eat fast food when traffic is bad, especially for dinner. And I can totally see that. Like you're just getting off of work. I don't have a 9 to 5 yet. Actually, hopefully I don't have a 9 to 5. I hope I get this dream entertainment gig. Anyway, a lot of people are in the grind. It's the rat race. So they pick up what's quick. My sister's a good example. She works 2 jobs and she is oftentimes picking up something like Chick-fil-A or, you know what I mean, like something for the kids because it's just easy. And she's exhausted. Who wants to cook? And they think it's because you're getting home too late and you just don't feel like cooking, which totally makes sense. So traffic around the country might be a little bit lighter today because a lot of people skipped work. I wonder why. Shout out to the Eagles. Congrats to them. Obviously, it's a Super Bowl Monday, so a lot of people called off. I had my wife on the podcast earlier this morning. 4 people called off at her job. She's a manager, so of course she's got to pick up the grunt work. But that could be good news for your waistline because new study in the Journal of Urban Economics. You know, the other thing I was coached on is speak slower. Okay, I'm going to do that right now. They found that heavy traffic makes us gain weight, and it all comes down to meal choices. Researchers looked at 3 years worth of traffic and GPS data. They found that heavy traffic made people more likely to eat fast food, especially for dinner. So I'm going to ask you, and feel free to weigh in the comments, what's your fast food go-to if you're just like exhausted and you just want something? Lately for me, I have to say I'm a really big fan of Whataburger. My kids love In-N-Out, and I feel like Gen Z is like the In-N-Out crowd. But man, I love me some Whataburger. If you have not tried it, their patty melt, ooh, man, it's so good it'll make you want to slap your mama. Anyway, feel free to weigh in what you like if you like going for some comfort food. Also Taco Bell. I'm a huge fan of Taco Bell. But researchers looked at 3 years worth of traffic and GPS data. So people tend to do fast food if they're just running late or exhausted after, a long day and they want dinner. They think it's because you're less likely to want to cook when you've been stuck in traffic, which totally makes sense. If you're getting home by like 6, sometimes 6:30, and if your kids have like volleyball and basketball like my kids, sometimes we're not home till like 7:30. You don't want to get home late. And do you really want to cook after that? I will say this, my wife is really good about pre-planning meals. So we'll do crock pot stuff. Like chili's a really big, good one for us. I'll typically buy some cornbread or make it fresh now that I'm like a stay-at-home dad and a popcaster. But people were also less likely to swing by the grocery store when traffic was bad. So they think that it's even more evidence to be true that fast food, just data, makes you heavier, makes you gain weight. So if you want to avoid gaining weight, this is what I suggest. And this is just fitness 101. My best friend is a bodybuilder. He kind of got me into bodybuilding. Diet nutrition is a huge part of it. Pack your snacks. Almonds are a really good way to go. Greek yogurts. Chop up some vegetables. Costco's really good for all that stuff. They've got those mini cucumbers. They've also got a lot of healthy snacks. But if you plan ahead, cheese sticks, that's a good protein. There's a lot of ways that you can do that. Protein shakes, that's another good way to go. That's a way you can watch your waistline without having to go through like, I want the number 7, 2 cheeseburgers, large fry, and I'll do a Diet Coke because I'm trying to lose weight. That is so funny to me when people will go to McDonald's and they'll be like, yeah, let me get a Big Mac, a large fry, Diet Coke, and 2 apple pies. Anyway, the more you know. It's Bobby's podcast. Thank you for listening.